Hello everyone and welcome back to our reading of I Live in Your Basement, Chapter 27. Let's get started. I knew I didn't have much time to free myself. With a burst of strength, I swung my head back, but the warm goo moved with me, pressed tighter against my face. I could feel the sticky slime climbing up my nose into my mouth. I had to get help. But how? I stumbled forward. Could I walk? Could I push the heaving, spongy creature with me? If I could get downstairs. My heart pounding, I forced myself forward. Butting against the heavy blob, pushing, digging my knees into its flesh as I struggled to move. Yes! I took a step, then another. Was I through the bedroom door? I stared through the creature's milky flesh, stared right through its thick body. The house was a shadowy blur on the other side. I couldn't breathe. My chest began to burn. I couldn't hold my breath much longer. I had to keep going. Pushing, butting it, forcing my legs to take another step. Another step. I made my way down the hall with the creature over me. Yes. Yes. Every step taking me closer to help. Yes. And then suddenly my feet lifted off the floor. I tumbled forward, falling. I was falling down the stairs. The sticky creature bounced beneath me, cushioning me like a foam rubber pillow. Down, all the way down the stairs. We bounced hard together, at the bottom. My head jerked free from the sticky goo. I gasped in a mouthful of air, so cool and sweet. My lungs about to explode. I sucked in another long breath. And then the slime covered my face again. I tried to roll free, but it stuck to the front of my body, wrapping itself tightly around me again. I kicked off from the wall, bounced forward, through the hall into the kitchen. Mom, where are you? My desperate question. Mom, are you home? Don't you hear me? The creature clung to my face, to my chest. Its foul odor swept over me. A wave of dizziness made me slump to my knees. No! I forced myself up, carrying the weight of the spongy red creature, across the kitchen, peering through its glassy body, up to the kitchen counter, and slammed it into the sharp counter edge. I backed up and pushed forward again, as hard as I could. Slam! I drove the slimy creature into the edge of the counter. Again, pushing with all my strength, then backing up and shooting forward again. Slam! Slam! The body made a sharp, squishy sound with each blow, but it clung me tightly, clung to my face, shutting off my air, clung to me until I could feel my strength fade away. One more try, one more slam into the counter. I shot forward as hard as I could. I heard a loud splat, and to my shock, the spongy warm goo fell off my face, dropped from my chest, dropped to the floor with a heavy plop. Gasping, sucking in air, panting so hard my chest ached, I stared down and saw two of the milky, slimy creatures. I had cut it in two. The two halves throbbed redly on the kitchen linoleum. They bobbed helplessly like fat insects on their backs. Mom! I choked out, in only a whisper. Mom! No sound. I couldn't force out a sound. I reached my fingers into my throat and pulled out a thick chunk of slimy goo. Gagging, I heaved it into the sink. Mom! Where was she? I heard a voice from somewhere in the house, from the den. Mom? Was she talking on the phone? Couldn't she hear me battering the slime creature against the counter? Couldn't she hear me calling to her? Mom? I staggered toward the door, but I took only a step. Before I could move farther, I felt something tighten around the legs of my jeans. Ugh! I lowered my gaze and saw both halves of the spongy slime creature wrapping around me. I kicked out one leg, then the other, but they clung tightly and stretched. Two of them now, spreading their sticky, warm bodies up my jeans, up the front of my shirt. I grabbed at them with both hands and pulled, but my hands slid off their shimmering wet flesh. Mom! Granny! Somebody! Help! They swept over my face. Two of them now. So heavy. I fell to my knees, then sank onto my back. So heavy. The two of them were weighing me down. As I thrashed and slashed at them, squirming and kicking, they melted back into one, and spread around me, pressing me inside, until I was trapped inside. No air left. No air. And then, staring helplessly through the thick slime, I saw something move across the kitchen. Someone moving quickly. A blur of color. Mom? Was she in time? Could she pull me out of this disgusting creature? I gazed up at her from inside the thick, milky body. Hurry, Mom. I can't breathe. Don't you see me here, trapped inside this goo? Hurry. Staring hard at the blur of color, I saw her run up to the creature. Saw her stare down, hands raised to the side of her face. Pull me out, Mom, I urged silently. Pull me out now, I pleaded, but no, she just stood there and watched as my last bit of breath escaped my lungs. Well, that's morbid. So the kid Marco just dies. I don't know, there's still some chapters left. And really, that's all for today. I'll see you next time. See ya!